and welcome back to Griff Cinema. I'm going to keep the intro a little bit shorter. Today I'm just going to be covering what I watched in July. Now, at the time of recording this, it is the 28th. So I'm only going to be doing ones that I've watched from the 1st of July to the 27th. As always, the list will be fully linked in the bio below if you're interested in seeing everything that I watched this month. This is just a brief rundown of some bigger titles. I'm just going to give a brief review for each movie and kind of tell you how I felt about them. So let's get going. The first movie I watched this month was actually Casablanca. And this was actually my first time ever watching Casablanca, which is kind of insane to think. And while I did enjoy it, I tend to have less fun with those popular films. Some of that might just be the pretentiousness inside of me. I still thought it was wonderful. I thought it was amazing. Led by a strong performance by Humphrey Bogart, at the helm of Michael Curtiz, who also won a well-deserved Best Director award for this, the Oscar. Casablanca is definitely one to watch. Whether you're a cinephile or you're just getting started to watching, just getting started into watching films, I'd say it's just very influential. If you want to learn about films, you want to study films, it's just one that needs to absolutely be on your list. Next up, I watched Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong. Yep. Yeah, I watched this. I have a love-hate with Charles Band and Full Moon Features. On one hand, they have produced many fun and great B movies. I'm sure there's plenty I enjoy. I could probably do a whole video on just Full Moon. But on the other hand, they've produced shit like Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong. So last month I had actually watched both the original Gingerdead Man and the original Evil Bong movies. So I jumped the gun, decided not to watch all the other however many sequels there is, and just watched the much anticipated meetup of the two. And I was rather underwhelmed. Yeah, unfortunately, I have nothing positive to share about this movie. It was just bad. The next movie I had watched was The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. I hope I said that right. Unfortunately, one of the more forgettable watches that I had this month. So I'm a big fan of Yorgos Lanthimos. I've thought about doing a whole video just on Yorgos, especially after his new movie Bugonia comes out. This movie was, I was always told that if you like Yorgos, which I do, then to check out the work from, don't kill me if I say this wrong, Luis Buñuel. Now, to spare some fun details, because this is a really fun movie. A group of rich people meet up for a dinner. However, some real batshit scenarios play out, and that's the whole movie pretty much. I'd recommend checking it out for yourself, as, you never know if you might find a personal gem, and just because something isn't for me doesn't mean it's not going to be for you. However, this one was just not my cup of tea. Uncle Sam. Man, sometimes I just love watching awful, really bad B movies. A man is killed during a friendly fire incident in Kuwait, but then his body is sent back to America and he goes on a killing spree, and yeah. I watched this on the 4th of July to be a little patriotic, and yeah. The Mulholland Drive TV pilot. This is actually an interesting one. I'm a big David Lynch guy, as you can probably tell. And I had always heard about the fact that Mulholland was originally supposed to be a TV series. This is after, the success of Twin Peaks. He had went and pitched a new TV series, which now is Mulholland Drive, and Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting story if you read up on it. But through Reddit, actually, through the r/David Lynch subreddit, I actually found someone who linked the TV pilot. It was on like the Internet Archive, and I watched it, and it was Mulholland Drive. Um, um, just not nearly as like elaborated on. I mean, which is funny in the context of Mulholland Drive, a movie that's already not exactly elaborated on. And a few things mentioned in like the first hour of the movie, like were not there. And I mean, obviously, this is meant to be a TV series, so you're not gonna lay out everything. It was fine. I mean, as I said, it was Mulholland Drive, but it was kind of cool just to see what could have been if this did get picked up to be a show instead of a movie. As I said in my review of this on my letterbox, I was simply just it's interesting. I mean, I love the movie, but it's interesting because I wonder how Mulholland would have played out as a TV series. And as I said, it's like this is right after the success of Twin Peaks, so Lynch definitely understood that TV formula. I don't know. It's so tough because I'm like, on one hand, I sit there and I'm like, no, I'd rather see this as a movie, and then I sit there and I'm like, but as a TV show, this could have been so good. We'll never know. Beauty and the Beast. Fun fact: Beauty and the Beast was the show where director of The Grooks, Carter Canfield, and I truly became close friends. Um, I played the role of the narrator and the baker, and that was it. That's all I played. Yeah, no, I didn't. But of course, Beauty and the Beast has and always will be a personal favorite of mine. Um, to me, it is one of the. It's hard to say. I would say it is the best Disney movie to me. The ballroom dance sequence is amazing, and Be Our Guest is actually like the best music and dance number in Disney history. Yeah, I'm willing to go there. I'm willing to say it's that good. It's just an absolutely brilliant film. I mean, it's truly amazing. And Gaston was actually always a dream role of mine when I was in musical theater, and so maybe one day I can fulfill that dream. Probably not. I'm not nearly as macho-y as somebody who plays Gaston probably should be, but I mean, yeah, but a guy can dream. The Day the Earth Blew Up. This is a really fun Looney Tunes film that made me feel like a kid again when I was watching. Unfortunately, I didn't get around to seeing it when it had its run in theaters. But I still had a boatload of fun watching this at home with my family, and plus, Coyote vs. Acme just got announced at San Diego Comic-Con to be out next August. So that's good news. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can say about The Day the Earth Blew Up. It's just a fun Looney Tunes film. I definitely recommend checking it out. Pavement. Watched for Joe Keery. Stayed to watch a semi-doc about a band I only know one song of. Yeah. The Passion of Joan of Arc. Now I could go on forever about this. It's kind of been like my Roman Empire this year. One of the best silent films ever made, and how you could even argue one of the best films ever made, period. This movie, believe it or not, is based on the actual trial of Joan of Arc, and to me, it's an absolute necessity for film lovers to watch. Just step out of your comfort zone and watch the 82-minute long masterpiece that this film is. A lot of people are, I don't know if intimidated is quite the word, but they think silent films are boring, are useless, and I'll tell you what, I've had sometimes more fun with a silent film than I'll have with a 3-hour epic. You know, it's I think silent films are pivotal to cinema's history, and to not incorporate that into your watches is I believe it's utterly disrespectful to the craft of filmmaking, if you don't give credit to where it's due, to the humble beginnings. Plus, if you watch this, Renee Falconetti, I hope I said that correctly, She will give you an acting lesson better than you could ever pay for. I mean, the facial expressions alone, it's just something that I don't think I could ever even recreate if I really dug deep and tried. But yeah, Passion of Joan of Arc, absolutely give it a watch. It's an amazing film. Polyester, this is one of I believe this was John Waters' like first big budget film. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it features a wide array of topics like teenage pregnancy, divorce, abortions, alcoholism, and a couple very disturbed foot fetish scenes, among so many more. It's a John Waters film. It's a John Waters film. You know what you're getting yourself into when you decide to watch one of his films. Just go in blind, and you'll have one hell of a time. But that's for every John Waters film. It's not just for Polyester. It's not just for Multiple Maniacs. It's not just for Hairspray. It's not just for Pink Flamingos. Just go in blind, and I promise you will have one hell of a good time. I mean, John Waters is just absolutely growing on me. I mean, he's so amazing. Idle Hands. Believe it or not, I actually hated this movie. But everything in it should line up for me to love it. It was weird. I mean, I really wanted to love it, but I couldn't. I don't know. I just remember when I was like 5 or 6, my dad was watching this on like Spike TV, which, side note, any of you guys remember that single dad haven of a channel? I mean, yeah, whatever happened to it. Anyways, I was watching this with him, and the opening scene with the parents was playing out, and I remember it scaring me so bad that I like didn't even dare to watch this throughout like my teens. And I at 21, almost 22 years of age, I finally decided to brave it. Now realizing that the scariest thing about this was the fact that my dad actually sat down and watched this movie. So, Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. If you remember my last video, I bought this on VHS. So after filming, I actually watched this while I edited that last video. And it was actually a lot of fun. I mean, it's animated Batman, but animated Batman on VHS. Something about it just felt right. Like I don't know. It just felt. I don't know. It just makes me want to go online and buy more copies of animated Batman on VHS, because it was just a feeling that I can't exactly. I don't even know the word for it, and it just felt right to watch it on VHS. I mean, it's also definitely a fun watch, especially if you only got like 70 minutes to spare. It's a really short movie, and it's chocked full of action and fun dialogue and stuff. I mean, it's absolutely just a wonderful time. Ephus. This is so far my favorite movie of 2025. I haven't seen a couple of those bigger ones that if I say on here, everybody would probably get mad at me. Sinners. I haven't seen Sinners. No. And I don't think I'm going to go too crazy into detail on Ephus, because I've thought about making a separate video for this film. So yeah, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but if you got Mubi, check it out. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I watched this on Mubi, totally blind. It came up on my recommended. I watched it, and it was amazing. So good. I even sent the director of the film a little Instagram DM, and he had gotten back to me. And yeah, I mean, it was absolutely just it was a great film. Definitely give it a watch. Eddington, a massive disappointment. A massive disappointment. I'm not going to elaborate on it in this video. I might make a video on not just for this film, but on Ari Aster. Yeah, so I'm not going to go into too crazy detail on Eddington. The Navigator. So quick backstory. In May of this year, a great friend of mine, Parker, had invited me to a mystery movie at the State Theater in Sioux Falls. And the movie he played was Buster Keaton's The General. And I remember not only during, I mean, it hit me during, but like after the showing, I was just like, I needed to watch more Buster Keaton films, because I realized I think I'd maybe watched like one other. I think I'd watched like Sherlock Jr. before I had watched um, The General, and I was like, I need to watch more Buster Keaton. And so I finally got around to watching a couple this month, and all in all, The Navigator was a fun slapstick film. But I mean, just the underwater stuff was probably the most impressive part of this film, to me. Specifically, the short fight that Buster Keaton has with an octopus. To me, that was like the highlight of the film. I don't know, man. I thought the fight with the octopus was not only funny, but I don't know. I just like the fight with the octopus. Showgirls. I loved it. I think it's crazy misunderstood, and the cheesiness and over the top stuff that everybody complains about is actually super pivotal to the story. No, I won't elaborate on that. I think it's supposed. I just think it's supposed to be over the top. I mean, it's not supposed. I don't know. Not gonna elaborate too much on that. There's also probably not a whole lot I can talk about this film on YouTube for obvious reasons with the film. If you've seen it or if you know anything about it, but give it a watch. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I loved it, and I'm still bitter I didn't get the deluxe box set from Vinegar Syndrome for this film. Still sour about it. Still bitter. Lake Michigan Monster. Surprise! I'm making a movie. No, more news on that in a separate video. But a friend of mine, Sam, had read the script, and he had said that it actually reminded him a lot of the Lake Michigan Monster, and in the same people that had also, it's made by the same people that made Hundreds of Beavers, and so he said that the script reminded him of those two films, and so I had seen Hundreds of Beavers and loved Hundreds of Beavers, and I decided to go visit Lake Michigan Monster, and without saying too much, I mean, I think it's a fun one to go in blind for. Yeah, it's a great time. It's a great time. Give it a watch. Greener Grass. I was actually thinking about making a separate video on this movie because something about it is just sticking with me. But man, this is my shit. I mean, this was absolutely for me. It was weird, and it didn't have to spoon feed you a story for it to be good. It has a bonkers third act. I mean, it's insane. At times, it felt a little basic. But overall, just a great, weird time that, to me, radiated a lot of early 2010s Adult Swim energy, almost kind of like that Fever Dream-esque stuff that Adult Swim used to put out back in the early 2010s. Happy Gilmore 2. So many cameos. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, that was what I watched in July. I'm thinking about making this a monthly series where I go and I talk about everything I watched in a month, and then talk about it with you guys. If that's something you're interested, let me know down below. As I said, if there's other ideas, let me know down below. I'll also link, once again, follow me on my Letterboxd, follow me on my Instagram. I have TikTok. I need to get better at posting it. Follow me on my TikTok, wherever. Yeah, follow me there. I'll try to upload more frequently. Yeah, but as I said, any ideas that you got for videos, let me know. I have quite a few planned, but yeah, absolutely.